Okay. We're going to go ahead and get started and welcome Zoom family around the world. Thank you, Lonnie, for working the backside of this amazing Zoom. And congratulations for being here today. Woo! So we are so excited. We are Steve and Gina Merritt. We're going to be doing the presentation tonight. We're actually from West Palm Beach, Florida, and we are so glad to be here. And you can participate. You can clap. You can laugh. You can say, we're in a church. Amen. Hallelujah. Whatever you want. We like participation. It helps us speak a little bit better. Anyway, so we won't be so boring. Anyways, we're just excited to be here. And I'm telling you, today is going to be a whole new day for each one of you. We're going to be talking about this amazing X39 stem cell reactivating patch. So this is what it looks like. This is the pouch. 30 of these little patches come in this packet once you get yourself enrolled to be a brand partner. So this is what the patch looks like. 30 of these come in this, we call this a sleeve. And we want to encourage you, as you're starting to wear the patch and you're doing something different and new, we encourage you to put this packet right by your toothbrush. I know it sounds crazy, so I hope you brush your teeth. Anyways, put this right by your toothbrush. And the key thing is it's going to remind you every morning when you brush your teeth and you wake up to put this tiny little patch on and watch it go to work. It's going to start putting your body on a complete reboot, and your body's going to start healing on its own. Absolutely phenomenal things are going to happen. And just for me, real quick, guys, this is just crazy. So this little patch is $3.30 a day. I've been wearing it for 1 year. And very quickly, briefly, this is my testimony. So I'm going to say I'm so quick, you're going to be like, holy cow, this tiny little patch did all that. So it put my body in a reboot. My body started to begin to heal on its own. My hair was thinning on the top right here, growing like a weed. I'm serious. I'm so fired up. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I got to go get plugs or something in there. So my hair is growing like a weed. My skin is completely changing. The wrinkles are like disappearing. I'm 61 years old. It's crazy, crazy, guys. So continue to wear the patch. I'm telling you, you're not going to believe the results you're going to get. So my hair growing, my skin reversing, my eyes reversed and aging. They went back 2 notches. Boom, boom. So that's pretty exciting because you know what? We walked into the eye doctor. We both saved $500 on new lenses and in new frames, right? So that was exciting. Then my gums are reversing and aging. So I had a procedure. It's called pinholing. It cost $20,000. I did it about 2 years ago. My gums are going up and my bones are disappearing. And I'm a teeth person. I'm like so upset. I'm like in tears. So you go in, you have this procedure done. It costs $20,000. They put you to sleep. It takes 3 hours. They insert like a bone above every single tooth. They pull down your gums. You don't talk for 5 days. I followed all the instructions. There was no money back guarantee and it didn't work. So I've been wearing this tiny little patch. I'm so fired up because my story is my gums are repairing on their own. Is that crazy? So I have thank you. I have a spot between my front tooth and my second tooth, which is your central, your lateral. The tissue was coming off in the inside of my mouth. I could feel it hanging. It's so creepy. But after 1 year wearing the patch, it is reattaching. It is absolutely phenomenal what's happening in my gums and my mouth. Both my sister, my oldest sister is 69. She's probably going to kill me for telling her age. 69. My brother-in-law is 70. And they both have the same thing I got that I needed done. They needed to do the pinholing. I said, don't do it. It doesn't work. They've been wearing the patch for a year, and both of them, their dentist said, what in the world are you doing? They're periodontal. So this is crazy. So that's just the upper part. Now I got rid of restless leg syndrome. That's another one of my testimonies. That was my first one, and it took 6 weeks. So I am so fired up that I patiently, persistently, consistently kept wearing that patch, because my husband got a testimony in 1 week and it took me 6 weeks. So that's really, really exciting. So this is the order form. As you walked in today, you're a new person. This is how every single person in this room gets enrolled. They all fill out this form, or we also have a link that the person invited you could have sent you a link. Either way is great for you to get enrolled. But we like to use this paper form because you can kind of see all the details. It tells you how many sleeves you're going to get. Remember, this is one sleeve. It has 30 patches in it. So the exciting thing is that somebody said to me, well, gosh, all you do is talk to people. Yes, we're sitting at the restaurant the other night. I chat with this lady next to me. She ends up being a professional cook. She cooks with Paula Deen. And she's like telling me, oh my gosh, I know 20 people right now that can use that patch. So you just don't know. People are looking for something. And I'm telling you what, when you wear this patch faithfully, consistently, some of the doctors, and I'm not putting anything against a doctor, but MS, there's no cure for MS. And the people with MS are getting, I have goosebumps right now. They're getting miraculous testimonies. Again, this patch does not heal your body. It puts your body on a complete reboot, and your body begins to heal on its own. It's just phenomenal. You don't know where it's going to go first. So, like when I was wearing the patch, I'm thinking, wow, I'm going to have this, I'm going to have that. But no, it goes to different areas. It's going to go to your weakest link, and your body's going to start repairing that weak link. Then it's going to go to the next weak link, but it will go to the very weakest link. So you might think, oh, well, I've got a little bit of back issue. No, it might go somewhere in your organs where you can't see. Just so you know, if you don't have healthy stem cells, you're going to struggle as we age and we mature. So stem cells, your hair is made of stem cells, your eyes, your skin, all your organs, your heart. Come on. So they're very, very important. The exciting thing is we are the only ones who have this X39 stem cell reactivating patch. So people need this, every single person. You know how when you're at your neighbors, or you're at home and you're like, go to your mailbox and you come back in, you say to your neighbor, hey, how you doing? And everybody goes, great. They're not doing great. They got aches, they got pains, they got money issues, they got issues. So this is the exciting thing. There is a way that you can make a massive income. It is absolutely incredible, the money that people are making. So it's kind of like when you go to a restaurant and you share a good restaurant, you share a good movie, you don't get really paid for it, right? Oh, well, maybe you do. No, I don't get paid for it. So this, you get paid. The more you promote it, the more you share it, the more you get paid. So it's absolutely incredible. The other great thing I want to tell you is to relax. That is, there's a money back guarantee, a 30-day money back guarantee. So you can't go wrong. You got nothing to lose, everything to gain. The testimonies are just amazing. We're just so excited. So this little tiny patch, the inside of it is made of nano-organic crystals. So to explain it a little bit deeper, it's made of sugar and salts. Nothing goes in your body, nothing goes through your body. So as you wear this patch, you put it on in the morning when you wake up. Remember I said when you brush your teeth, put the pack of patches, the sleeve by your toothbrush, so that reminds you to put the patch on. You wear it 12 hours on and 12 hours off. When you go to bed at night, you brush your teeth, take the patch off, throw it away. Somebody said the other night, I think it was Dr. Rodney Howard-Brown said, oh my gosh, I wear the patch 18 hours. I said, well, you haven't grown a third arm yet? I'm just kidding. But anyways, so it's nothing crazy is going to happen if you forget 1 day or 2 days to wear it, and you wear it a little longer, just relax. Nothing's going to happen. Just in the morning when you remember, take it off, throw it away, put a new one on. So you wear 12 hours on, 12 hours off. It actually costs about $3.30 a day. So the testimonies we're going to hear today are amazing, but I just want you to know, this is a serious thing. I have a girlfriend that's 79. She has a pacemaker. Her name is Carolyn Hubner. So I called her up about the business. She says, no, I'm not really interested. And I thought, they're retired. I thought they might like to do this to make an income because, they're in a community where there's a lot of people mature. They have maybe some aches and pains, some issues going on that the doctors can't figure out. So I call her up. She says, no, I'm not interested. She calls me back a month later and says, you know what? I changed my mind. They came over and they picked up patches. So I gave her a sleeve. I did give her one full sleeve. Normally I give somebody 3 patches and a little sample envelope, but they are my very dear friends. I actually met him years ago when you walked into a store and you actually bought a washer and dryer. Now you just get them online. So I walked into Sears is how I met this amazing couple. They're just beautiful Christian people. They're mentors, Steve and I. And so I gave them a whole sleeve. So they each had 15 patches. She calls me up 2 days later. She says, you're not going to believe it. My husband hasn't walked in like 9 months. On day 2 of the patch, he walked 1 mile. So she's so fired up. So she continued to keep wearing the patch. She wasn't really getting any testimony or anything. She kept wearing it. Before she started wearing the X39 patch, she went in to get a test done. Remember, I said she has a pacemaker and she needed a stent put in her heart. So she was going in to get a stent put in her heart. She had been wearing the patch now for 1.5 months only. This is the good part, guys. So she's wearing the patch for 1.5 months. She goes in for the procedure. The doctor pulls her out and says, no, you don't need it. And she's like, why? And he goes, you were 69% blocked. Now your valve is 32% blocked. So hallelujah. So that's the exciting thing. And actually, we really tell you that it takes about 6 months really for the patch to really start healing your body and your heart to reverse an aging. You'll see like a slide up here in just a minute. But this is absolutely incredible. 1.5 months later, she didn't have to go through that surgery. What a relief it was to her and her husband. She came home. She called me up. She said, oh, no, I am on fire. I'm going door to door in my neighborhood. So I'm just so excited for her. We also do have a convention that's coming up. It's going to be right here in Tampa. It's going to be at the river. That it's August 18th and 19th. Listen, I want to tell you, if you're here and you want to make income, I'm telling you, you must be here. Do not ask off for work. It's called call in sick. Okay. So it's really, really important. It's $150. It includes 2 meals, lunch and dinner. We're going to break bread together. We're going to eat together. No one has to run around and go find a table for 20 people. We're all going to eat there. It's going to be absolutely incredible information. And it's going to be fun being together, but it's going to be powerful. And I want you not to miss it because I know everybody goes, oh, I don't really know if I need it. Oh, I'm a little older. I don't really know if I want to start a business. No, it doesn't matter what age you are. From 23 to 90, people are just busting it in this business, making a massive income, changing lives one person at a time. It's incredible what's happening. So I want to encourage you again, this patch here does not heal your body. It puts your body in a reboot. Your body begins to heal on its own. And it's just amazing what's going to happen. Some people get a testimony in one patch. Some people like me, it took 6 weeks. So you have to be patient. They say for every decade you are, so I'm 61, I need to wear the patch for 6 months. So I've been wearing the patch now for 1 year, and I'm telling you, I feel absolutely phenomenal. The mental clarity that you are going to get. Now, I'm sorry to say this, but it took me like 5-6 months to get the mental clarity, but hey, I got it. So that's a good part. I got it. But some people say, oh my gosh, I put one patch on. 2 days later, I had mental clarity. 1 week later, I had mental clarity. So you just don't know how it's going to work on your body. Everybody's body's different. Okay. Now listen, some of us have been a little bit more abusive to our bodies, right? My husband, he's had 14 surgeries. You're going to hear his story in a minute. But I want to encourage you, if you are under doctor's care, you follow exactly what they say, T for T. If they tell you to take this, you take that. You keep following their directions. And they're going to, when you go in and you get your blood work done and you get your test done, they're going to come back and say, hey, you don't need so much of that insulin, or hey, your heart ticker is ticking better than it's ever ticked. So I just want to remind you, just follow whatever the doctor says. This is just a tiny little patch. It does nothing, goes in your body, nothing goes through your body, and it's going to do magical things and the healing in your body inside. So remember that just keep wearing it faithfully, consistently, even if you're not feeling something, because it could take a little bit longer. So we're excited to be here. I'm going to bring on my husband, and what a blessing, guys, being here and a part of this. Help me welcome Steve Merritt.
All right. Wow. Give her a hand. Was that amazing or what? Okay, now I'm going to go through tonight very quickly because we've got some great people here that can kind of share with you as well what's going on. There's nothing better than listen to your friends tell you what's happening. So it's great to be here in Tampa. One of the biggest things I could tell you is that after you heard what she just said, why would you want to like question, at least give it a shot? I mean, you got nothing to lose. This is when you see the people that come up here, we're just real folks telling you, hey, we're onto something. We had no idea. A friend of ours shared a patch with us that we had so much history that like in 2000, my daughters, where I got three daughters, they were teenagers, and I got a son, but the girls babysat my friends, toddler girls, and she had three. And that's how we knew them for like 3 years. And then we heard about this kind of industry, word of mouth, and we started putting it together. And we talked to her and said, hey, would you like to do it? And she said, no, I never want to do a word of mouth business. And I'm like, okay, great. I love people that don't want to do it because they're the best ones. Because when they get started and they talk to somebody that doesn't want, everyone you talk to doesn't want to do it. So if you want to do it, you don't relate to anyone. You know what I'm saying? So it's better if you don't want to do it. So she was like, no, I don't want to do it. Okay. And I've never been like a person like that. I'm kind of open-minded, but it's not that I want to do something different. I look at the end result. Like, you know what the end result is. Like if you're a flight attendant, Gina was one for 25 years. You're in the tube, you're like in your 30s, and you look across the tube or down the tube, and you see somebody that's been there 20 years longer, all right? She's in her 60s, and you're there. That's what you're going to be doing in the tube for the next 20 years. I mean, so if you're a bank, you're in the bank, and you're a young teller, you want to be a manager, right? And you can see the manager tomorrow or Monday when you're at work. You look across the room, there's the manager. Now, God didn't give me a lot of intellect, just common sense. Okay. So you look across the room, you see the manager of the bank. I mean, they do have a nice office, maybe a rubber tree plant or something like that. But I mean, they're still in the same office as you for the rest of their life. Could be engineer, could be real estate, whatever it is, you pick it. That's what you see. And I'm not trying to cut anything down. I'm just saying, if you are a person that says, I got to get out of here, we got something for you. But if you don't want that, there's not a problem. We at least can help you reactivate your own stem cells because everybody is in a different mindset. But I will say, since the lockdown, more people than I've ever seen, almost everyone that I talk to is way more open to be proactive with their own health. Right? Okay. So again, does that common sense come with me? Does everybody believe the same way? I mean, you count on the government, you count on the insurance people, you count on your medical world. I don't know. All right. Think about it. They all kind of drank the same Kool-Aid. So anyways, all of us got the common sense that we need to do something. Right. And no, I'm not trying to pick on anyone. I'm just saying, hey, we're real. We can make our own decisions for our own bodies. Okay. There's nothing that goes in it. And I skied on the U.S. water ski team for 10 years, was a pro water skier for 25 years. My daughter's a 2-time world champion, just like myself, a 10-time World Cup wakeboard champion. So we're not like, you know, if we do something, we stick with it. It took a long time for me to succeed at that. But point is that we saw something that was going on here. So I had 14 surgeries because I did all that skiing, and I was living in pain for over 10 years, taking handfuls of Excedrin was my go-to, and Advil. And I'm talking handfuls for 10 years or more. And I knew I shouldn't, but I just loved the life. I want to always be having fun. So I took whatever I could take. And then in 1 week on the X39, all my pain went away. And that was 12 months ago. So I don't know what you'd like, but I know a patch. I mean, now on my entrepreneurial side of it, I said, okay, would people keep wearing this patch? Because that's the only way you can keep generating income if they keep wearing the patch. Well, I've been wearing it for 12 months and I can't wait to put the patch back on every day. So, and everyone that I talk to feels exactly the same way. You're like saying, well, how long do you wear the patch? Well, how long would you have to take a prescription drug? You know what I mean? How long would you have to do any kind of medical, go to chiropractors or whatever? Here, okay, you keep wearing it because if you have a knee pain, you don't want your stem cells to be withered up and dormant in the other knee. Does that make sense? That's how this works. So I'll explain it real briefly, and then we're going to bring a couple friends up real quick to kind of go over it. But here's kind of, first of all, if you haven't put the patch on, put it on. Like Gina said, there's case studies done behind the neck and below the belly button is where they do the case studies, but anywhere you have pain, you can put the patch on anywhere, okay? And you just wear it 12 hours on, 12 hours off. This is the key reason why this is exploding in 12 months. I call it stem cell awareness, like these get-togethers, or most of our meetings are on Zoom, about 99%, but it kind of gets boring speaking in a closet All right. So we like to see some people. So that's why we kind of have these once in a while. We're starting to do them a little bit more. But I will say this, that I have had team doctors, and I've had doctors along my career, specialty doctors that did all my surgeries. Okay, my hips, my knees, my elbows, my arms, my shoulders. Okay, got pins in my neck. When I go through a airport screener, it all lights up. I mean, it takes a little bit longer for me to get through everything. So now I will say this, that out of the one other thing I had is I've been in 37 physicals. Okay, and I've been married for 37 years. That's why I've been to 37 physicals. Before that, I didn't go to too many physicals until I got married. So they would always ask me now, the doctors say, why are you here? My wife sent me. Okay. All right. So, which is a good thing. She wants to keep me around, but that's 37 physicals, and I haven't had one doctor. Now, I'm not going to put the doctors under the bus because I don't want to do that. I just don't. I believe they know this, but they didn't have an answer. No doctor has told me. Now, you have to tell yourself that as you get older, your stem cells become dormant. Has any doctor look you in the eye and said that to you? They've told you? No, I've never had a doctor ever tell me. Now, I believe they should know, and I'm going to ask it because we have a huge doctors panel coming at the, our conference is coming up on the 18th. I'm going to ask them why they never told us. But I believe they don't even know I'm going to ask that question. Like, I can't wait to get them on the panel, right? To ask them questions like we'd want to know, right? Not screen that they know the answer already. So this is very interesting. They might be watching though, so now they're going to know I'm going to ask it. Point is, I've never got more doctors involved in my life in 12 months, but I believe that they didn't know this technology like none of us was around. It just was recently launched. It took 10 years of research, $4.5 million. But if no one else in the world knows that their stem cells are becoming dormant, and they understand that it's very important to have active stem cells, do you think there'd be anyone with common sense that wouldn't want to have that happen for them? That's just me, right? Now put that into business terms and you can imagine, oh my gosh, we could be rich if you'd like to, right? So anyways, at 30 years old, this is what I found out. Half of your stem cells are active. And think about all the athletes all of us might know. Everybody's got a different, there could be somebody in here that's got a connection with his son that's on some pro football team or baseball team or college team, because it's all got to do with the relationships, how you get in front of people, okay? Well, think about it. Athletes, 25 to 30 is their peak. And some of them go past that, but half their stem cells at their ages are active. You think they want to have active stem cells to be at peak performance? Obviously. At 60, you're lucky if you have 10% of activity left in your stem cells. Now, you do have stem cells. They're just dormant, never to wake up ever again unless you put the X39 on. That's the only product in the world right now that will reactivate your own stem cells. Is that incredible? That's what I found out. So I've been telling my friends, and people really do have common sense. They want to get on it. They're not shy. Gina told you about the organic nanocrystals. It's actually sugars and salts from organic plants that are activated, that are formulated to activate your copper peptide. When you raise that up, your copper peptide I was reading Tony Robbins' book, Life Force, before I heard about this, and he talked about the importance of peptides and stem cells. But the only way you can get them are injections, most of them. There's some peptides you can get orally, but 90% of them have to be injected. That's always fun. Okay, every day you got to be injected with something, right? And the stem cells, I heard, hurt when you put them in, and they cost, like, they quoted me $23,000 because of all the surgeries I had. I never did it, but I thought it was interesting that this is only $99 for a month's supply. You can't go to the chiropractor one time for $100, let alone $99 for a month's supply. So this raises up your copper peptide that reactivates your own stem cells. So that's why the patch is not doing it. Your body's healing yourself. God made our bodies to heal himself. They just need to have active stem cells. So the one other thing that's interesting, other than the price that's very different, is when you inject a stem cell, it only goes to your joint that you put it in or your muscle. It doesn't go to all the different organs in your body. So the company's been around for 19 years. I love that. It's not a startup. We're not saying to you, hey, we're going to get started pretty soon and we'll start paying you maybe. I mean, they never say maybe, but you know what I mean, right? 19 years, it's like the best kept secret I've ever seen, mostly promoted by doctors for the last 12 years, which is interesting. But see, doctors never took it like a business. They're just putting the patch on. The people are getting their patients are feeling incredible, but the patients don't know their business because they never told anyone. Nobody knows nothing. It's like a secret. right? So my friend that we helped succeed, that my kids babysat for, she actually did get started with us in a word of mouth business. We actually became experts at helping our friends succeed in this industry. And she made $17 million and sold her business for $4.5 million. That's over $20 million in a 7-year period of time. And wasn't doing anything until her friend told her about this X39 patch. And she came out of retirement and started promoting it a few years ago. And in the last 2 years, took the company herself before all of us got started from 20 million to 280 million. And we taught her and she didn't want to do it. See what I told you? The same gentleman that I shared this with as well, him and his wife didn't want to do it, and they hit the highest rank with us as well. So it's a pattern of people that don't want to do it. I love those kind of people. So I hope you came that way. If you came here like excited today, but I hope you came like as a favor and someone was going to take you to lunch afterwards or something. All right. So since we got started, the company, this team right here that's in here that's already got started, took the company from 280 million to 340 million. And the inventor and owner, David Schmidt, Matt, Curtis, myself, and the team here has been Ken and Diana. We're all in Aruba with him about a month and a half ago. And he said, we're poised to hit $400 million by the end of the year. So we're going to take it to $1 billion and beyond. It's going to be fun. So that's just kind of what's going on. And then that's just kind of an entrepreneurial type thing for you. And we're in 75 countries. So you can talk to people. All right. Mena here is from South Africa. She's an attorney in the area, and she has a big business growing in South Africa and all over the world. So you don't know, like, I'm not from South Africa. I don't know anybody, that lives in South Africa. I just know Mena. I mean, I didn't know Mena until I knew Ken, who knew Mena. And I didn't even know Ken until Joyce introduced me to him. Like, so people introduce you to people. And then all of a sudden there's people that think like, hey, I'd like to have my stem cells reactivated and I'd like to make some money. And that's how we are in South Africa. So we're going to go there one day. Can't wait. That was actually some of my biggest competitors, by the way. They love water sports. South Africans love water sports, them and Australians. All right. So anyways, here's David Schmidt. He said he lost track after 130 patents. So that's kind of like, should put it up there a little bit more on credibility wise, what we're talking about. This isn't like somebody that just came up with something that nobody, that they've never used to coming up with things. His specialty, his expertise, his passion in life is to come up with ways to reverse your aging, not anti-aging, reverse aging. So this patch works so good that you're going to start going into your old habits eventually. Like maybe we catch you sucking your thumb one day or something like that, right? All right, have a little fun with us, right? So anyways, that's David Schmidt. His patent for this product took 10 years of research and $4.5 million to bring it to market. And I love that tenacity. It didn't just happen overnight. He stuck in there. And by the way, he did not want to do it to a networking company. Is that interesting? He didn't even want to do it. But he was told and kept being told, he's flying on airplanes, bumping into people. And they said, the best way to promote this product, because the only way, if it sits on a shelf, nobody know what X39 is. So with all of us there, especially my friend Cheryl, she'll tell everybody, right? She doesn't hold back, right? So, I mean, you start getting some people that want to get out and tell the people, you can't stop it. It like takes a life of its own. So that's how it got started. And he's going to tell the story. He'll be at the convention. You owe it to yourself to come. I'm just telling you, even if you're busy, change things around and be there, because it's going to be wild. People are flying in from Europe, all over the world to be there. Now, the patent was just recently approved July 2020. So we got years of this patent to promote with it's not the reason why most companies, if you've got a friend that ever tried a networking company and they didn't succeed, I'm not surprised. For the last 2 decades, almost every network has the same products. So it's very difficult to build it, because they all have what I call me too products. I have weight loss, me too. I have skincare, me too. All right. I have shampoo, me too. All right. I have supplements, me too. I have energy drinks, me. Everyone's got the same stuff. And it's not only the networking companies, it's the department stores, the health food stores, the TV and online. Everyone has the same stuff. I mean, even have a unique weight loss, it's still the same things that people have. So here we've got a unique product that nobody else has and everybody needs. That is a game changer if you'd like to win. And this is a huge, huge opportunity, because people don't realize how powerful this industry is, and I'll give you a quick example. Have you ever gone to work, or when you were at work, or some of you are retired now, and you said to yourself, geez, I sure wish, I love my career, I just wish I got paid what I'm worth. Or you felt like you're worth more, okay? This will be the very first time ever, because you know why? I'm going to tell you why it's going to work, because it has nothing to do with your own sweat equity. Joyce is a CPA. As long as she showed up to be a CPA, she got paid, but she couldn't call and say, hey, I'm not really going to do your taxes, or I'm not going to show up. Just send me the check. Doesn't happen. Gina was a flight attendant. She can't say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to come into Delta for the next 2 months. Just send my check here. Matt owned his own business, but he still couldn't tell the customers, hey, I'm not going to do build your house, but give me the money. It doesn't work. Here, it works without your own sweat equity, meaning that if all these people that are here, somebody in this room is going to go build it for their dream, whether I do it or not. So whether I did it or not, they're going to do it, and the money keeps coming in. So this is going to be the very first time. It's happened to me multiple times now in this industry where you feel guilty. That will be the very first time you're going to feel guilty. Watch this. You're going to feel guilty that you're getting paid this much. Would you like that one day in your life? Just say, I just can't believe I'm making this kind of money. I can't believe it, right? My own sister-in-law called me and said, I think they're paying me too much already. She's only been in a year. She said, he thinks she's getting paid too much. And I said, stop it. Don't call the company and tell on us, all right? Because it'll ruin it for the rest of us. So that's what's going to happen, right? Here's some of the things on the product. Gina mentioned a lot of it. Pain relief, that was me. Energy and vitality. I mean, Gina, all right, at her age, 61, can actually do more things than 30-year-olds. You can just see her, right? Kim is the same way. Matt is the same way. I know Ken, right? You know, I mean, Ken always had some energy. We put this patch on him, and he's like 100 times more energized, right? So it's wild what people are. I mean, would you like that feeling? Somebody was just telling me yesterday that they just feel different. They feel incredible since they've been wearing. I mean, it's unending. Most of my friends that are 60, late 70, early 80s are feeling incredible, and they're crushing this the most because they have so many friends that they want to have this feeling, and they put the patch on and they feel incredible. Mental clarity, everybody's is having. Sports enhancement, recover from exercise, and skin. My brother-in-law was a farmer, and he said that he swore that the dermatologist was making her car payments on all the freezing that he had to do on his back. He put the patch on a couple months later, went in there, no more. She was mad, he said, because she said she looked like she had before she'd have a smirk on her face. Now she was a little upset because she wasn't able to make the car payment. She couldn't find anything on his back. So that's interesting. I have a young friend. Yeah, is that amazing? In Florida. I have another young friend that is, my friend's son, Luke, he's had cystic acne most of his life, but not anymore because of the X39. And his dad sent me a picture of his back, his face. Now, you came here thinking, oh, this is just for me. No, you have a responsibility because you don't know what friend has kids that would like to have their self-esteem raised and not have to take drugs. And by the way, my daughter had to take Accutane. And she broke her ankle twice, once in soccer, once in ski, and could never pursue her career in sports because it weakened her bones, right? You'll never forget this presentation ever after this, okay? And I haven't had one person not get started on the X39 after they see this. This is a 77-year-old woman's brain. So David Schmidt, he's actually up in this corner. You can't really see him. He looks kind of like me. Everybody thinks we get confused. They don't know who's who, all right? They always are like telling me, hey, thank you for your presentation. I didn't do a presentation, but I just kind of got his back and say, hey, thanks a lot. Oh, I'll take a picture with you. They think they got a picture with David Schmidt, right? And he does the same for me. So doesn't matter. So point is that we never knew each other before 12 months ago. But he does these studies with major doctors. Welcome, come on in, just grab a seat. With doctors and scientists. And this was a photo of the 77-year-old woman's brain. And he was explaining it to my friend Matt and me on this interview that this shows that she has very limited at 77. She wore the patch behind her neck. So she's wearing the patch behind her neck. And other people in the same case study wore it below the belly button. But in this case, she wore it behind the neck. This shows very little, if any, stem cell activity in her brain. The red shows inflammation. Session 2 is just 3 weeks on the X39. All the inflammation of her brain is gone, starting to see some activity, and the brain is lit up with stem cell activity. No inflammation, absolutely none after 6 weeks on the X39. Okay, now, let me help you. This is not one 77-year-old woman's brain. This is your brain. This is my brain as we get older, right there, okay? So if you don't get on the X39, and later this week, you walk into a room and say, why am I in here? I came in here for something, right? Or if you say, honey, where's my keys? Where's my keys? It's because you like this 77-year-old woman's brain. Never forget that you need your stem cells active, and that's why people's mental clarity, like Gina was saying, is gone off the chart. You want that, okay? You want to be on your game as you go into your retirement years, okay? Even when you're younger. Now, this isn't just your brain, by the way. This is your heart, your liver, your lungs, your kidneys, your skin. As you age, dormant stem cells. Think about this. You would never want to live the rest of your life without having active stem cells. And I can't get anyone to look me in the eye and say, I want to live for the rest of my life with stagnant stem cells. Where's your wife? Can you get her in here real quick? So let's get somebody with some common sense, right? Because she definitely want to put up with you with stagnant stem cells, right? Now, this is our website, startx39.com, that you could do research all night long if you want, or you could just watch the first 2 videos like my friend Matt and me and get excited, right? There's 80 case studies, okay, done on this product, and they're all on that website. So that's why we have so many doctors watching and looking and starting, because they never knew there was a way to activate your stem cells. Within a few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset, and that's why we're seeing people with motor skills like autism, MS, and stroke patients. I have 5 stroke patients that couldn't hardly say a sentence. One could only grunt. And within months, some of them weeks and some of them months, can say full sentences and talk to you, right? And see an incredible result. So again, who do you know that might be in that predicament, okay? Within 6 weeks, it balances your brain. I did not know that my brain would be unbalanced, but would you like to live for the rest of your life, Roger, with an unbalanced brain? I mean, you live long enough with one, let's get over with it, right? So you don't know if you're the one with the unbalanced or not, but your spouse knows if your brain's unbalanced, right? So let's get it right. Symptoms start decreasing of PTSD, anxiety, and depression, which is wild. What can happen? We're seeing that in a big way. So collagen increases, ladies. Your wrinkles start going away. Hair starts growing like a weed, all right? And your muscles and your bones become stronger as you're on this X39 getting older. And this is a big one. Within 6 months, your heart reverses in aging. In a recent study, out of the case studies, 14 out of 15 people their vascular age average 8 years in just 6 months. So think about that, what can happen. As a matter of fact, Larry, come on up here. I just met Larry, all right? I met him yesterday. Yesterday at 4 o'clock, Larry, you were there. There were about 175 people there. Nobody left. They could hear a pin drop. Just the other side at the river, we had a little meeting room. There were 175 people at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, if you want to know if people are excited. But I just was over here talking to Larry because I was changing numbers because he could hardly get in yesterday. Yesterday, we didn't talk much. He just was filing through, but he introduced himself. But he's on Ken's team, right? And he said, and Matt's team, he said that he told me just now when I was talking to him what his testimony was. So tell him. Yeah. Go ahead. Tell him, where you're from. And okay.
We'll move over here.
Good.
Yeah. So I'm Larry Prater. I'm from Bradenton, Florida, just down the way here. I have 4 daughters and a wife. And I'm a former athlete, and I went to the doctor a year ago, and I got diagnosed with a heart condition. And they said I'd have to get emergency open heart surgery. Well, my buddy Andy took the patch. In 5 days, he had frozen shoulder and he kept his arms. So I said, I'll try it. Well, when you don't have something that hurts, or you don't have something that's noticeable, then I couldn't feel it working. But when I went back to the doctor 6 months later, he was like, I have no idea what you're doing, but we don't have to do surgery right now. And so I still don't feel it working. I'm a pretty energetic guy. I have 4 daughters. I have to keep up with them. I mean, I'm sure my wife has said, no, your mood has tremendously increased. Yeah. But, with that being said, is that I would never known this unless he pulled out the graph from a year ago to 6 months. And then I just went back about a month and a half ago to get, because he wants me there every 6 months. And he said, I don't know these graphs are off the chart. So I have not told him about the patch because honestly, I want to use this as a testimony too, is that I didn't believe it.
Yeah. He didn't want to do it.
I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to,
Here's our pattern.
so I didn't want to tell somebody something. This is my best friend for 12 years. And I watched him for 14 months, couldn't lift his arms because he had frozen shoulder in both arms. And then 5 days on the patch, he could lift his arms. But for me, I own 6 businesses. I'm busy. I got 4 kids and I didn't want to do it. And so I had to see the results, but then I put it on my wife. In 4 days, her back pain was gone. So then I had to start telling people.
Thank you, Larry. Hey, come on. And okay, now, and you meet great friends, great people. I was telling Gina, now that's Larry. I said, I didn't get his name. I met him in the line. She said, well, what does he look like? I said, he's real sharp looking guy. Looks like Clark Kent, right? He's like, I didn't know what to say, but I said, hey, the guy was really sharp. I met him in the line, but we didn't talk much until today. He's here again. But think about it. He said he was busy, didn't want to do it. He came yesterday and today. If you see something that's big, you'll figure out a way to make it happen. And by the way, it's not all up to you anyways. Just go start putting people in. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. And you can generate a serious amount of income because you led somebody to the opportunity. Here's that website I was telling you about. So remember that. When anyone asks you a question, because I'm not a doctor, so I don't go into a long, elaborate explanation on how to do it. It didn't take, there's 3 videos at the beginning. You can watch 2 or 3 of them. And the reason why I only watched the first 2 is the first one was 2 minutes. The second one was 3 minutes. Then it was 18. I didn't want to watch it for 18 minutes. So you could get in after the first 2. If you're simple, like I negotiated my way out of high school. That's how I became a world champion. I told the teachers in Wisconsin, where I grew up, the water ski capital of the world, if you don't pass me, I am coming back next year mad. And they're like, here's your diploma, D+ or whatever, right? So then I came down here and became a world champion. That was my dream. So point is I don't go into a lot of sophistication of things, okay? But you would not believe how many doctors I have sponsored personally because they go to the X39. Like you look like amazing. You're like, this guy is sharp, right? Even a pastor the other day said, man, you are really good at presenting. I said, I've done the same presentation for 12 months. If you did the same sermon every day, you'd get pretty good at it too, right? It's the same thing, right? You just read the slides, okay? So that's all we're doing. But this is the website. Whenever anyone asks me a question, I just say, that's a good question. Because if you ever read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, you want to make friends, you just compliment people. So you say, hey, it doesn't say answer the question, just say compliment him. That's a great question. Oh gosh, I like that guy. Even if I'm going to get started with him, even if he doesn't answer my question. So I just send him this website and it does all the work instead of me trying to have to answer it. And that is, the company called us the other day and said, you and Gina and your team are sponsoring more people, hundreds of times more than anyone in a 19-year-old company in America and international, probably because of Meta, right? But most people want to bless a lot of people. So I'm kind of helping you. Would you like to bless the most people? Well, we're doing it and we're not making it scientific. It drives the, very educated people. I'm not trying to pick on you, but sometimes you want to make things harder than it is. Us guys that aren't so educated, we like to keep things simple and we're like ambitiously lazy, if you know what I mean. So would you like to hang with us a bit and make some money and have some fun and bless a lot of people, the most people of a 19-year-old company? Is that incredible? So that's kind of was my story. So I hope you can grasp it, right? So you don't have to explain it to everyone because why? His best friend shared it with him and he trusted his judgment. That's how we're doing it, okay? And it's not so easy to always sponsor a doctor either because they kind of, especially me, I didn't go to school, so I don't really have a great answer for the doctor, right? So I don't, and even when they get in the business, I'm not trying to pick on the doctors. They're not used to wearing a lot of hats. So they kind of get so stuck in their grind that they can't get out of it. But I'm encouraging you that you should, because it is too big to pass up. It is wild what it's doing and for their patients. But we'll have a doctor's panel at our event. And we have a special doctor right here from Tampa that is crushing the X39 with his patients. And he's going to tell us why powerful it's You'll be going out of here buzzing about what's happening, and that's right down the road. So that's why we're kind of here in Tampa to tell everyone, hey, between now and then, bring as many people as you can. Here's where they do the case studies, but we did the interview with David Schmidt. He's going to be there. It's another one of the things he's going to answer again this weekend, in 3 weeks, that you can wear the patch anywhere you have pain. You don't have to wear it in a special spot. Okay, good. Well, you know what? We got everything recorded, so we'll get you a little bit. Okay. Real quick, now what we're going to do is bring a couple friends up here that have been getting a little testimony on the X39. Okay. Let's bring Cheryl. You mind Cheryl Smith? Come on up here real quick and tell them a little bit. And give Cheryl a hand because she's kind of hosting it with her friend.
Bernice
and Roger. Bernice and Roger. Thank you, Bernice. And Jim, thank you too. So, hey, we got a lot. So go ahead. Tell them a little bit. I'm going to hold the mic.
First of all, I just want to say, guys, that we are extremely blessed. We are, I don't even have the words to say. These guys, Matt and Kim Curtis and Steve and Gina Merritt, we've known them for years. They know our kids. We know their kids. They are absolutely incredible. Okay. They have the combination of the love of the Lord, his word, people. They love family. They love country. And they love having fun. They're so much fun that my husband and I, 8 years ago, we decided to move to Florida because of them. I said, okay, they've got a house in Orlando and they've got a house in West Palm. What's in the middle? Sun City Center.
Yeah,
that's why we're here, guys,
wow.
Is because of these people. So the integrity is out the roof. Absolutely incredible. So just real quick, about 8 months ago, Kim gets in touch with me and says, I want you to look at this. And so first day on the patch, I swim real early in the morning. My husband and I are with Master Swim. So got in the pool and I swam like a torpedo at 6 a.m. One of the male collegiate swimmers said, how are you swimming so fast? I said, it's this patch on my back. I actually stopped swimming to pinch myself. I literally stopped swimming, which is unusual because this is my prayer time. I go through the alphabet and I go, God, you're awesome. You're beautiful. You're compassionate. And then I pray for people. So it was unusual, but I did. I stopped and pinched myself. I said, this is too good to be true. This well-being feeling, this like, it's okay. Everything's fine. It's like, that's not me. My husband can tell you that. My daughter can tell you that. But anyway, so then the energy, even though I'm a high energy person, the energy was incredible. It's absolutely incredible. So I thought, man, I am going to tell everybody on the planet this because I knew what it was doing for me. So then later on, I had this severe, like huge quarter-size place on my head that my mom had. Hers never went away. I put 2 patches on it, went to my dermatologist. I said, do you remember that? I went like that. She's like, give me that patch and put it on my back right now. Y'all, 2 patches, took it away. In COVID, I lost a lot of my hair, so I started wearing wigs. And my hair started growing back, y'all. So exciting. We're blessed to have quadruplets, and this is our daughter.
She's gonna come up here.
Yes. And so because of that, I had 30 years of severe migraines because of birthing quadruplets. That pretty much went away immediately. Y'all, that's huge. That is huge. I would go in yoga with sunglasses and they'd go, Cheryl's got a migraine again. Huge. Off my CPAP machine. REM sleep. Oh my goodness. My husband and I have never slept like this before. Never been in REM sleep before. I don't think ever. We are remembering very, very vivid dreams. And that was pretty much soon afterwards. And, goodness, there are just so many. It reset my body weight to like about 105 or 108, regardless of what I eat, how much I eat, or if I exercise. And I'm a big exercise person, but I've been passing these patches out. So I'm not exercising like I was, but it just went bam. And so I'm like a teenager. It was absolutely incredible. And I'm my husband's barber. And the second haircut 2 times ago, I looked at his bald head and I went, oh my goodness, you got some hair growing where you didn't have it before. And this last time, it is like really of change.
Yeah, we're gonna check that out.
Absolutely incredible. He doesn't have to get up 3 times a night. And when we first started the patches right before, the doctor said you're going to have to get on blood pressure medicine. Now he's a big athlete. He's never had a problem with anything. And I said, we're not doing that. So the patches came, put the patches on. His blood pressure was perfect without anything else.
Oh, thank you, Cheryl. Wow. Come on, bring your Jacqueline up. Jacqueline. Help. Tell us a little bit,
Sorry.
Jacqueline.
I'm Jacqueline. Sorry, I'm the stage fright with people. Like,
That's okay. Just
sorry.
we're here with you.
I am Jacqueline, and I'm a college student. The teachers were saying that I've improved in my school because the patch.
Yes.
Um,
He goes to Southeastern University in Lakeland and in college. And they had said she wasn't going to make his second semester because it gets much harder and she'd have to do everything on her own. And about 9 weeks ago, what did they say?
that switch turned off in my brain.
It's like a switch had flipped on inside her brain.
A
And
switch flipped on her brain.
now she can do all these things that she could not do before.
Energy, no anxiety. I can sleep better. Mental clarity.
The first half of a day, guys, she put it on it like I kept telling her, put it on, put the patch on, put the patch on. 2:30, she texted me and said, okay, I put the patch on. We call each other every morning to pray. And
Sorry.
she called the next morning. First thing out of her mouth was, that patch is amazing. She said, Mom, I don't have any anxiety. She said, I have this well-being feeling. She had not heard a video. She had not heard a testimony. And I'm going, how does she know to say this well-being feeling?
Interesting.
Isn't that interesting? And then she said, Mom, I have all this energy. She said, I'm laughing a lot. That's just not her makeup. And then she said, I'm not worried about anything. 2 days later, in our prayer time, she said, Mom, my brain is clear. She said, I can think so much better on this patch. So during her prayer time, she'll say, thank you, God, for changing my life with this patch.
I was like I like being on it because it just mental clarity. Because there was the time where I wasn't focused on my schoolwork. I was just I was kind of like a zombie, and then now it's great. So
Wow. Give her a hand. Okay. And if Gene and I would have said no, and Matt and Kim would have said no, and Cheryl wouldn't have been open, Jacqueline wouldn't have that testimony. So you don't know who you could lead this to today, this afternoon, this evening, where you can take it, but you owe it to your loved ones that you know or you're going to bump into. I mean, come on, you can only, as soon as you're going to be out and about tomorrow, whether you're at church or at the beach tomorrow afternoon, you're going to bump into someone that, oh, my knee's hurting, or they're going to tell you something. You have no answer for it until today. You got something, right? How about Roger? You're going to come up here. You got something for us, Roger? You're hosting the meeting tonight. Come on, Roger. Let us know what's going on.
All right. So Cheryl signed us up for the patches, and the first 30 days, I wasn't really convinced anything was going on. But I walk every morning a couple of miles, and I was starting to get bursitis in my left hip, and I was wearing the patch on the back of my neck. And so I was complaining to Bernice, and she said, you ought to move that. So the next day I did. I moved it from my neck right down to my ear, and the pain went away. And I really haven't had any since then. The real reason that I got onto the patch was over the last 3 years, I've had 2 serious back surgeries. And I've still got chronic back pain, and I can just see I'm going to have another surgery. So I'm on that patch to try and reduce the chronic pain in my lower epidural area, not epidural, whatever it is, right down there. And I can tell you that when I first started, my pain level on my back was a chronic 6 or 7. Today, it's about a 2 or 3. So I know it's working because there's nothing else that I'm doing. The other things that have happened is after I was on it for about 3 months, all of a sudden I noticed my fingernails are growing in stronger. My hair was growing back. My skin was getting pretty again. And the scar tissues where the surgery was all smoothing out. And so I'm already convinced 100% this is what it's doing for me. But about a month ago, I had one of those dental exam things where they punch you and give out a number 1, 2, 7, whatever it is. And they said, hey, you've got a problem up here in your upper left here. Your gum disease has grown and we're afraid that you're going to get, food particles in there. You'll get an infection and all that stuff. So I said, okay, I mean, nothing I can do about that. 2 weeks later, I did a deep cleaning on my right side. And then a week after that, they did a deep cleaning on my left side. And after it was over, the technician says, there's something funny going on here. I said, well, what do you mean? She says, well, when we gave you your first exam, your gum was diseased and going up, and it says it's grown back. So I know those things have come this patch.
And Roger was the first one here. He helped host in this thing with Bernice and Cheryl and Jake. Tell them a little bit what you see from the business side of it.
Well, from the business side of it, what I see is there's great potential here. We patch every one of our friends. We're not in it for the business, really, honestly. We're in it because we want to give something back to people that we care about. If it turns into a lucrative business, that's great. Yeah. But that's like secondary to us. And we're just blessed that we can give something out to somebody else who needs it. Yeah. And that's the most important thing to us.
Thanks. And that's the kind of heart. That's the kind of heart that's going to bless everybody as well. So that's what we got on our team here. So we have one more, Maria. Is she in here? Maria somewhere? Maria Hernandez. Come on over, Maria. I want to hear from Maria. Give her a hand. Let's hear what happened. What's going on. And again, before Maria starts, like we said earlier, we're putting this patch on and it's not healing anybody, right? The patch is just putting on, it reactivates your peptide that reactivates your own stem cells and your body's healing itself. So nobody's patch doing it. The patch has to go on though for your body to heal itself. So just so you know. Go ahead, Maria.
Hi, my name is Maria Hernandez and I'm here because Roger and Bernice started me with this patch. And when I first started, I do it for my husband because my husband is diabetic and he was in a lot of pain. And I want to do it too for me because I have back surgery and I was in a lot of pain, having a lot of trouble walking and not very much energy. But first, my priority was my husband. Well, when we started, I have a hard time to convince him, but I finally convinced him and he started. And when Roger and Bernice gave me 3 patches, I used two in myself and 1 in my daughters. And I feel my back pain, there was less. But then when I started using the other patch, I told my husband, I don't know if this is gonna be working or not, but I'm gonna do it for you. And I'm gonna see if the patch that really works because he's a diabetic for 7 years and he have trouble with his diabetes and cholesterol. So I told him, we wanna see if this patch really works. So we went a month late to the doctor and he have his labs a month after he started using the patch. So he went to his numbers from 9.8 to 7.4 and his diabetes and his cholesterol is under control already. And he says he have a lot of energy when he's working because he's working construction. And for myself, after I have my surgery, I was in a lot of pain and have trouble walking. I have my under my feet all numb. When I was walking, I was feeling like I have my stocking I don't know, say I'm explain to in English how there was like all crumble and bottom. And feeling like I have blisters. Yeah. So I tried to walk one day. For people they know here, Sun City. So I was walking from CBS to Waimama. They take me an hour and a half walking. So there's like a mile, like a mile and a half. So then after that day, I tried to walk. I was in a lot of pain the next 4 days. But then I started using the patch and I try to walk the same distance, and I walk in half an hour with no pain, with not having the same feeling in the bottom. And I think they proved me the patch is working first because my husband, he's doing better, and myself, the bottom of my feet's getting, I can walk. These tennis shoes I'm wearing right now, I was not able to use it because feeling so much pain, just the pressure about the shoes, the tennis shoes. So I'm using it right now and I feel really comfortable with that. Then my back pain is going better. So
Thank you. Okay. So I hope after I explained a little bit how the X39 works and you met some people that are just real, and even some of them didn't want it to work and it still worked. So that's interesting. So that's kind of what well, Larry even said, it didn't want it to work. So real quick, let me just show you a little bit of how to make the money. Then we'll stick around if anyone has some questions, and I'm going to bring a few more people up here that are really on their game and been working in the area. So anyways, when it comes to generating income, it's not like, you want to, it's important that everyone's got something different that they want to have out of life. I mean, you go to work every day. Would you like to really get paid what you're worth? And it's not always the best timing, or you might not want to do something different, but if it's worth it and you see that it's worth it, you should do it. I mean, that would make sense, right? So the stem cell industry, first of all, it's very easy to talk to people about their health and stem cells. It's one of the hottest topics on the street. I know that because I've been talking to people for 12 months and I'm not a very good conversation starter. I'm a good coach because that's what I've done for my life, teaching people how to be world champions like myself at my training center, but I'm not very good at starting a conversation. My wife, Gina, she loves to talk to people. All right. But talking about stem cells is very easy. If you just say stem cells, they're like, what is that? What are you talking about? You don't even have to say anything else. So you don't have to think about, short conversation, whenever you just tell them what's going on. And the industry is going to be exploding to $300 billion. And we're just getting started. You can either have an injection. That's the only other way. And those stem cells do become dormant because they're just like regular stem cells, unless you're wearing the X39, or you could just put a patch on. I would think more people are going to want to be doing this than having injections. The money works like this. You're going to start your own business and you're in a franchise type business. So don't complicate this. Instead of franchising used to be a concept that people didn't believe in either, but now everybody believes in it. But it costs $250,000 and beyond to start a franchise. Here, you get started by how many sleeves you want. Gina held up this application or this order form, and it just shows how many sleeves would you like to get started on. You could pick, and that's all you do to get started in the business. I like at least 5 sleeves because then you can make everything in the comp plan, which is called the gold package, or the diamond package. If you're serious, it's 19 sleeves because you loan your friends sleeves until they get theirs and they give them back to you. You're only basically loaning them, using them as samples. They're cheaper and you can make a little more money in the comp plan to get the diamond package, and you get the prices of the sleeves down to $84 instead of $99. But you're in your own business, and all you're going to do is you're going to build a right team and left team of other people that are in their own business. So here would be my right team and my left team. You saw people already coming up on both sides. They're excited about it. Now, whether I do it or not, they got dreams for their family, and whoever they talk to, they can build it as big as they'd like to. And that's what happens where the business takes a life of its own, and they're all in their own franchise. Now, the difference between this and if you bought into a franchise is when you buy a franchise, you basically bought a job. If you're not the owner, you're there all the time making sub sandwiches, smell like pickles and onions, or whatever you do, whatever you bought. Here, you get the entire territory of 75 countries, like I said earlier, and everybody in Tampa. I mean, basically, we got about everybody here and everybody that was there yesterday. So it may maybe no more than 200 people that are in the Tampa area that know about the X39. You're sitting on an opportunity of a lifetime, and you haven't even gotten to Lakeland yet. You know what I'm saying, right? So it's wide open, and everybody needs it. And you could build it. You're the owner of the franchise, and you could build it as big as you want, even into South Africa or Australia, wherever. And the difference between a normal franchise that you have to have a brick and mortar and you're there all the time with all the overhead and everything. This doesn't have overhead. This is no employees, no overhead, no brick and mortar. The only thing you've got is you need to get 2 sleeves, one for you and your wife every month. That's your only overhead. So don't make it complicated. Now, as you build a business, everybody goes underneath these 2 legs. So when you put your first friend in, I put Matt on one side, I put my other friend on the other side, then another friend under Matt, then another friend under here. Then when my friend puts somebody underneath there, everybody gets placed underneath everybody under these only, all in their own franchise of promoting stem cell reactivation patches instead of hamburgers and French fries, if you know what I mean. Okay. And as the people get underneath, the volume goes up underneath these 2 legs into infinity, and they pay you up to $25,000 a week. Now, our first week, we made like $100 a week. Then we got to $200 a week. We were high-fiving because, I mean, $200 a week is a lot. I mean, it's something. I mean, if you can make 200, you know, you could make 400. So some people get a little greedy. We were just happy to make 200 a week and then 300 a week. So it just keeps going on and on to help everybody build it as big as they'd like to build it, right? So that does cap at $25,000 a week, which is $1.3 million a year. And I haven't had too many friends that are a problem with that. Anybody got a problem with that? All right. I thought that's pretty interesting. That's only one of the ways to make money. Okay. Matching, you get paid more money for the people you bring into the business. So when you bring a friend in and they make $1,000 a week, they give you 25% on top of the other money that they're making. So that'd be $250. When they bring in somebody, you get 20% of their people, 20% of the next generation, right? And it gets wild what can happen. And we'll help answer any questions. It's kind of like if you're first starting a career, you don't understand it at first, but you understand one person to the right, one to the left, one to the right, one to the left, one to the right, one to the left. I mean, you can figure that out, right? You just put people in there in their own business, and then they start talking to people, just like Larry was saying, okay? So real quick, we have samples. Somebody who talked, we have that right on this with these green things right here, those bins. They have these envelopes that tell the people of how to wear the patch and where to go for your questions at startx39.com. We were flying to Aruba a couple weeks ago, bumped into a pastor. I love how I keep saying we. My wife was telling me today that, remember, it's not we. I'm the one that said hi to the pastor, okay? And you've met her personality, right? But then I did have to, like, she starts the conversation and turns to me. So we work together as a team, right? But we gave him and his wife some samples. She put the patch on. We put it on before they got on the plane because we had a 3-hour layover and we were talking to them. By the time they got to, by the next day, they texted us and said that her pain, Mary's pain, was almost gone in 24 hours. They said, can you come to our church? We'd like to meet you a little more. We went there. We didn't know it was going to be Spanish speaking church, right? But we got to know them a little better. They went to lunch. We went breakfast the next day. Now they're like great friends of ours already. And we just got started. But we gave them some samples. So we're prepared with some samples to share with somebody if you bump into them, because you never know when you're going to bump into somebody. All we really did was say hi. I mean, that's not that difficult. Just say hi to somebody. And if they say hi, if they grunt, they're not probably going to be very good at this, right? So if they say hi back, then you talk to them, right? So anyways, that's what these are for. So I will say that our sponsor, Onyx, she had us prepared. She said, get a diamond package, the biggest pack, and get some sample envelopes. And that's why we grew as fast as we did, because we were prepared that when Matt and Kim got in, when Ken got in, everybody was prepared and knew what to do. So you're getting on the right team, because we all want everyone to win and succeed and bless more people. So anyways, that's that. And we have a system on how to teach people. We just teach people, patch 3 people every day. All right. And then follow up with 3 people and point to one of our Zooms like we have on here today. We have a Zoom. The Zooms dwarf all the meetings because everybody has a cousin in Nebraska, a friend here, somebody in South Africa, and they all can watch these all over the country and around the world. So, but we just teach you, and you'll never get tired doing this, because no matter how busy you are, like Larry, you could put a patch or text 3 people a day. Does that make sense? Just before you put your head on your pillow, just talk to 3 people. And you don't know what's going to lead you. That's 90 new people a day. That's what we teach everybody. And that's why we're having this huge explosion. We put in about 100 personals, my wife and I, in the last, so we personally sponsored our friends like Matt and Kim personally in the last 12 months. About 30 of them, maybe 30 people, maybe are doing something. And underneath those 30 friends, we have 43,000 people on the patch. So out of 35 of our friends, okay? I mean, I hope my other friends could wake up. Maybe they're not wearing the patch. Their brain is like the 77-year-old woman's or something, but nothing I can do about it. But point is that that's only about 30 people, maybe less. I don't know exactly because it's grown so fast. I can't even keep track who's doing it. But the point is it's not that many that led you to 44,000. And we were the guinea pigs. Nobody really knew if this was going to work. We didn't have these kind of testimonies. We had my friend Onyx's age spot went away. Her gums grew back in her hair. That's the only testimonies I used when I got in. And then my back pain went away in a week. So that's all I was using. I didn't have any of this stuff like guys supposed to go in for a heart surgery and no more. That's a whole different type of testimony, if you know what I'm saying, than my, back pain that I don't know where it's at. It went away or somebody's gums grew back, So now to her, it was a testimony, but seriously to people. But I do like simple testimonies too, because people are more believable. I mean, I'm not trying to Cheryl's testimonies. It was like, are you serious? All that stuff could happen. But put the Pats to the test. Now, real quick, we got a bunch of people. I just want to, they can maybe just run up here so they can all say something. First of all, my friends, Matt and Kim Curtis, very successful business people, the highest rank in the company. Okay, come on up here. I got Ken and Diana, the second highest rank. They're with us. Come on up here. Tell them a little bit. Everybody can say something before we wrap it up. Joyce, come on up here. And your husband, Wayne, come on up here. Wayne, get up here, right? You can just say hi, see what you've seen, all right? Just a little bit, kind of like different people in the room that have got different perspectives. Joyce is a CPA by trade. Matt's a construction owner by trade. These guys own a marketing company. So everybody's got something different, right? And I was a ski bum. So everybody's got a different type of a trade. So tell them a little bit what you've seen, Pastor. I'll stay up in front here so they can see the.
Yeah. Hey, hey guys on the Zoom, how you doing? Hey, can you guys tell there's something going on here? Kim, come over here by me. I feel better when you're close. All right, hey. This is my beautiful wife, Kim's my high school sweetheart. Hey, we are excited. We're glad you came tonight. I know a lot of people are new in the room. They're going, what? How could this be? Right? It doesn't even make sense, right, Steve? We hear it every night and we're like, how could that be? Larry, how could that be? Doesn't even make any sense, right? Hey, I think the church is behind us. The dear Lord made us and he made our stem cells. Now we found a way to activate them stem cells. Let's say we can't make any claims. So if you think something, maybe you're getting healed, who healed you? Well, the Lord did, right? I said that in DC once and nobody knew what to say, but you got to be politically correct there. Okay, never mind. We're not going to put. So anyway, hey, I'm just going to say that we've been following Steve and Gina. They got us in a word of business years ago. We made over 10 million. We're not bragging. We got in the way of that old thing. And now we're in the way of this thing, right? Steve, Kim and I did. We sponsored 100 people in the first year and we put in 3 people this week because this is the easiest thing you'll ever do. When you talk about stem cell activation, people want the product. I had chronic foot pain, bad hips, a bad shoulder. I wasn't sleeping good. I'm 66 in October. I feel like I always felt great. I felt like I was 45, but I'm telling you, I feel like I'm 25, 30 again. I can't even find pain in my body. I'm a bit of an athlete. I do all kinds of crazy stuff, like walk 20 miles on the beach one day. I can't find pain in my body. This is totally changing me. I am younger. You'll be younger, and you have to help your friends get younger too. So, Steve and Gina, they don't brag on themselves. You see 45,000 people. We can't tell them we can't tell you what they're making, 50,000 a week. And I'm not allowed to say, erase that off the Zoom. Because then we think it's tacky. But a lot of people are like, well, why would I do this? We didn't have jobs for 13 years. What we want for you is financial freedom. That's what we want for you. We want you to, first of all, it fixes your body. That's more important than money. Then after that, we want you to get the money monkey off your back so that you can be free and feel great. Here you go, babe.
Hey, we're just happy to see all these smiling faces here tonight. And I love it because there's so many different team leaders represented here. And we have the opportunity. This is how I feel about it. When we were given this patch and we went in, started using the patch. For me, my testimony was I had asthma. And after about 6 weeks to 2 months in the business, my asthma started to get better. And my asthma was chronic. So that means I suffered from it morning and night. And mine wasn't necessarily a breathing thing, but it was coughing. So if you're trying this patch and there's a certain result that you want, or you have different things going on in your body, give it a chance. Give the patch a chance to do its thing. Because I was looking at Matt like, oh, I thought this was going to be gone. And, around 6 weeks, 8 weeks, the patch took care of my asthma. And like we know, the patch didn't do it. It's an inflammation in your body, and the patch, the copper peptide raised, and it did activate my own stem cells. That's what most of us need. I mean, we cannot go through life or aging, and people are living a lot longer now. We cannot go through aging with stem cells that aren't dormant. And if we have an opportunity, Here you have David Schmidt in a lab coat, his whole entire life. That's all he's ever wanted to do is find things that would help people. And we have a product here that will literally, if you'll use the product faithfully and share it with your friends and family, it can literally start doing a work in your life and not anti-aging, but age reverse you. It's incredible. Matt says he's not going to celebrate forward birthdays anymore. He's going backwards.
Go to 66. I'm going to 64 until I hit, who knows?
And the well-being and the overall well-being and the health is more important than anything.
Yeah.
You can get all the money, but everybody in the hospital would give you all their money back to feel this good. And this is what we have with this product. So you guys, you're right place, right time. Look forward to building this business with you. This is a convention is where you need to be. I know Steve and Gina are going to share about that more, but if you want to build a business and you're serious about building a business, you need to be in that event and not by yourself looking around like, oh man, I should have had somebody with me. Promote. You have 3 weeks still to promote that event and get your friends sitting and putting them in a position to win.
Hi, everyone. My name is Diana Burke and my husband, Ken. We've been married for 31 years. We have 5 children, 8 grandbabies, and another one on the way. And my testimony is after 20 days, I was getting a lot of hot flashes and night flashes, day flashes, and all that because of menopausal issues. And on day 20, I woke up and I didn't have any hot flashes that night. And that day I had a few, but then the next day I had less and less and less, which is awesome because what I'm finding is being on the patch now since about August we were on the patch. Because Joyce introduced us to the patch with Wayne too, it's awesome. Things are getting better as time goes on. And Ken even mentioned, gosh, you're not even complaining about your hips anymore. And I was like, oh, that's right. I don't have any pain in my hips anymore. Isn't that amazing? So, and my hair is growing like crazy and my skin feels really good, and so we're just so grateful for this patch, for David Schmidt and for the team and everything. And we just want to share it with everybody, and it can be organic. We could just talk to people because everybody has something, so it just seems like it just kind of flows in conversations and it gives us all something fun to talk about. Isn't this a great thing? We got something we can share that changes people's lives, and in more ways than one. So we're so grateful. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I definitely married up. Yeah, the patch, obviously you've heard amazing things tonight. The reason why I'm so excited for everybody in this room, I own an advertising company, right? I'm a business. Now, why I'm excited is I keep seeing my bank account keep going up, right? And that's really a blessing because all of us work really hard to make money. We got to make a living, okay? Or if you have investments or paying, but when you have this catching up and piling money back on top of everything else you're doing, I'd say that is a big stress reliever already. And the key is you don't want to put a dollar sign on people's heads, right? And that's what gives this industry a bad name because people matter more than money. And as long as you go out with a heart for people, right? And prayer to God, give me divine appointments, right? Then you're really in check to run. And I told my wife, honey, listen, we've been in this for 11 months, doing very good, but just think how many people don't still know about this product. And we don't have a competitive, there's no other competing product. It's a wide open market. So I can just show some, hey, you know about this patch? So what is that? And that conversation mentioned stem cells, boom, now I've made a connection. Right. And I said, this is crazy. How many people are in physical pain or emotional pain who live in America today? Just about everybody, particularly as you get older, which is nuts. So I'm a gifted salesman, right? I always end up at the top in sales organizations, but I'm having a real problem with my advertising company. I can't find good salespeople. Now, if someone had told me, Ken, you're going to need to find some good salespeople to help promote this X39 product, I would have said, no, thank you. I'm going back to work because it's too hard. But word of mouth is the most powerful form of advertising. And why is that? Because this is the definition of word of mouth. Word of mouth is a sales force you don't have to train. When you can see a good movie, what happens? You tell your friends. You go to eat at a restaurant, you tell your friends. You put a patch on, your life changes, you tell your friends. Particularly those you care about the most, you want them plugged in. Right now, your distributor ID, if you're in this, sits on them, then the next person, the next, and we're trying to catch up to 43,000. We have 2,500. I started with one person. Then I started with another, and then another. and then another, and then word of mouth. One goes to 2, goes to 4, goes to 8, 16, 32s, and so on. 11 iterations, you had over 1,000. We're double that. I'm thinking, my gosh, we went on vacation for a couple of weeks, and we were in Europe, a 6-hour time difference. I couldn't really build the business. We were, trying to 3-3-1, but couldn't really talk to my team. And we came back, we'd made a lot of money while we were gone. And I'm thinking, my kids will be able to do this. You in this room will be able to do this because it's not based on your personality. Most of the people that are on our team that are in here, they don't really know me. I didn't help get them. The thing is, gifted sales, but I can't make your stem cells reactivate. There's your sales force, right? That and the Zooms, and go to this is a convention. So the reason why, and it's so simple, I'm thinking, okay, if I just 3-3-1 people, share the passive people, right? And I plug people in the Zooms, I go to Zooms, and I go to this is a convention. I just kind of stay in that room. I can make 25 grand a week on the side. I work 60 hours a week right now running my advertising company. I really don't have time for anything else. So, but in the nooks and crannies, I've been calculating how much time I'm into this. Anywhere from 5 hours, maybe 12 hours a week. Where can you make 6 figures a year on 5 to 12 hours a week? And guess how much more time I'm going to have to work to make $1.3 million or more a year? All right. Why? Because of the power of the patch and the dynamic of word of mouth and the timing. I don't think in my lifetime, I'm 58 years old, I'm going to see something like this again. And so I told my honey, I said, honey, listen, we got next 12 to 24 months, we need to run. I said, how many people we have not on our, we haven't called on our phone yet, right? How many, and how fast can we start helping our friends go manager? I mean, how fast can we do both those things and plug them into Zooms? And just do a round robin of that. And just keep doing 3-3-1, help people go manager, and plug them in the Zooms. You'll learn more about what going manager means. It's the first level in the position. But I'm saying life is simple. And the older I get, the less I want to think, the less I really want to know. But what I do want to know, I want to make sure it counts. And if I can patch some people, and help them succeed to the first level, and get them to plug into some Zooms and replicate that process, how wonderful is this? And so thank you, thank you, Steve. And thank you, Joyce. Joyce is the one who stayed on me, right? She first called me. I was like, nah, I don't think so. No, I didn't want to do this. Too dang busy, right? And Joyce is awesome. She has stayed on me. And, and from that, a lot of lives have changed all the way to Larry, right? Because of her, and then thanks all to David Schmidt, the Lord. So we pray for David Schmidt, who invented these patches. And we pray the Lord continue to bless him for being such a blessing to all of us. I'm excited to see him again at the This Is a Convention. He's going to be there, and I'll give him a big hug if I can. So, but thank you, and thank you, Joyce. Thank you, Wayne. You guys are awesome. We love you.
Just tell them from a CPA's point of view what you see here.
Oh,
In your business, how it's growing.
okay. My name is Joyce Johnson. This is my husband, Wayne Schmidt. My husband of 32 years.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. I feel like I'm only 32 and I've been married to him for 32 years. But this business is about blessing people and loving on people. Everybody that I run into, my family, friends, people I don't even know, everybody has something going on in their bodies, in their health. And if we don't share these patches with them, we're going to see people sick, really sick, or dying. And then we are going to feel quite responsible because we had a chance to share the patches with them and we didn't. But from an income standpoint, I am an accountant, I'm a CPA, and I was also, I worked for the IRS for a number of years. So did my husband, that's why I've met him. So the IRS is a good place for me. But we need to share with people because people are hurting financially as well as physically. And in this country now, the economy is not what it used to be. Businesses, companies are going out of business. Mom and pop businesses are going under. And these people are looking for something that can help their lives and change their lives. And we are the people that can share it with them. We were at we get invited to all these, we get these postcards in the mail inviting us to these events for financial, travel, or whatever. So my husband got one last week and he do you want to go? And I said, no, at first. Then I said, yeah, I'll go because I'm going to meet some people. And we ended up talking to the owners of the company. They're in Orlando. I need to talk to you about that. And the son gave the presentation. And the first thing he was showing is he was recently in a car accident and how it affected his life. And I'm going, well, what does that have to do with his travel business? But it affected his life. It affected his health. And so I said, well, okay, I'm going to talk to him after the meeting to see what kind of pain he's in, because I was rear-ended twice in 2019. I have 4 levels of titanium in my neck, and I mean, twice in 9 days. So, and I, like I said, I have the titanium in my neck, stem cells from my hip, put them in my neck and charged me $7,500. And I'm going, well, I don't know if they work, because I was still in pain. I was still having numbness and tingling in my hands. But when Steve and Gina called me on June 30th of last year, I don't know if you remember what I said to you. I'm going, my mind is not even in a point right at this time to even discuss anything with you about this business, because I had lost 9 people in the month of June, 9 family and friends in the month of June of last year. And now that I have these patches and I look back and I said, I wonder what these patches could have done for those people. So share with people you meet in the grocery store, wherever. Everybody's hurting. Most of my people I meet are in church. I'll say in the morning, I say, Lord, who do you want me to bless today? And it never fails. He brings somebody to me telling me about something that's going on in their bodies. And it's like, I know it's a God appointment, because I asked God before I came to church, who did he want me to bless? And I have my samples ready. I have my information ready, and I share it with them. And then I follow up with them, and then I love on them. And some of them get in, some of them don't. Some of them tried for 5 patches or whatever, and they say, I didn't feel anything. And I said, well, what did you expect to feel? Did you feel your cells when they were dying? We don't feel stuff. We're deteriorating. We don't feel it until something is hurting. So let's take care of it before it's hurting. Things are going on in all of our lives. A lot of us have hair loss, whatever, a lot of damage to this country, and we can help people. The vaccines have done a lot of damage to the people, so we can help those people. So don't be afraid. Just think about, don't think of what it does to you. Think of what you can do for them. And I wasn't going to say very much, but here's my husband.
Okay, I'm not a salesman like these folks. I'm not a talker, so this isn't going to take long for me. But I just want to tell you that Joyce is my testimony on these patches. She's a one-patch wonder. She mentioned she had a car accident in 2019. She had surgery on her neck, still had neck pain, lower back pain. But Steve and Gina introduced these patches to us, and starting on July 6th, one day her neck pain, her back pain went away. So for me, then I didn't have to know anymore. I see it works. But just real quick for me, what I've seen, I had arthritis in my fingers. That's gone away. That's pretty much gone away. I like to golf, and if I wanted to golf 2 days in a row, I couldn't before, but because my fingers hurt so bad. But now I could golf 2-3 days in a row if I wanted to. So that's one thing. I sleep better. I have more energy. And last month I went to the doctor for my physical. My blood work came back. It's been better than it's been in the last 20 years. So it's working. So, all right.
Hey, I just wanted you to give a hand to everybody that came up here. I just wanted everyone to see the different personalities, different people that are building it, and the kind of testimonies that everybody's getting now. Real quick, Gina, if you don't mind coming up here and help me wrap it up. We've got the order form here. You pick if you're a guest tonight. Pick where you want to come in. If you just want to try the product, you need at least a 90-day trial. That'd be a silver package. You get 3 sleeves, 3 30-day supplies. All right. And if you want to get the gold package is the best package to at least get started in the business, because you can make everything in the comp plan. When you're silver, you can only make $100 a week. So right here is the application. I like the gold. If you don't if you're ready to really build big, then I'd suggest getting the diamond package, which is only $1,600. There's 19 sleeves, and you loan your friend the sleeves, they give it back. Somebody might say, hey, that's a lot of money. Well, then you might want to do it if you're serious. You can't start a lawn maintenance business for $1,600 for crying out loud. And then you're going to be driving around cutting grass, sweating. Here you're just patching people. But at least come in where you're at and you can upgrade. They let you upgrade. So if you come in at gold, 2 weeks later, you want to upgrade, you start hearing what these people are, you start experiencing what everyone else is, you can upgrade for like, if you're a gold and you upgrade to a diamond, you only have to pay $1,100 and you get 14 more sleeves. So you pick where you want to come in, but no matter what, get in and get on the X39. Then we have our convention that's coming up that you can learn how to build the business in a big way. And the last time we did this with some of these folks, we helped 174 our friends make $1 million or more. So if you'd like to seriously, now Gina's mom only made $850,000 with us, but still, I was her best son-in-law. All right. So now the reason why they did win and succeed, my mother-in-law, is because my father-in-law and her were business owners. They weren't afraid to call. She would just say, hey, you got to see what my son-in-law is doing and give me the phone. So we help everybody make it happen, but we haven't had one person succeed that didn't come to an event. It's right here in Tampa. I mean, people are flying in from all over the country and around the world to come to Tampa in 3 weeks. So I would encourage you to come, and maybe we can. Point is that if you got any questions, I'm here to help you answer. But it's only $150, and like we said, there's food involved, and it's going to be incredible what's going to happen for everybody. It's a blessing that it's here in Tampa. So going back to what Kim said, between now and then, you're building franchises. So like everybody here is in their own business. The more knowledgeable the people are, the more they're going to win and succeed because they know what to do. So when the people come to the convention and from your team, they're going to know how to build the business. So you're right here in Tampa, bring a bunch of people. You don't know who's going to come till you tell them. People will sign up the day of the event. They will come the day of the event. I know how this works. So people will be coming from all over the country signing up the day of the event. So don't take lightly what can happen. I used to have a water ski training center, and I would teach somebody more in 5 days when they came to my school than 5 years on their own. It's the same concept here. Gina was a flight attendant. She could not be a flight attendant until she went to flight attendant training. We had dinner the other night at the Ritz by our house. They changed the name, but it used to be the Ritz, so I just called it the Ritz. But there was a lady in the bathroom when Gina went to the bathroom, and she asked the lady cleaning the commodes, did you have to do training to work here at the Ritz? And she said, yes, I had to go to 3 weeks of training to work here. So anything you do, you got to know how to do it, and you got the confidence. So it's right here in Tampa. I encourage you to pull out all the stops to make it happen. Is there anything you want to announce?
No, so hey, with $150, and that includes 2 meals for your training. So, and you guys live here, you don't have to get a hotel, so you score. So make sure, for those of you who are new tonight, when you walked in, you got this form, just fill it out, get it to the person who invited you, or if they sent you a link, that way is great to also get enrolled. And anybody who wants to go to the convention, there are forms. I think we passed them out as well. And I'll collect all of that. Whoever invited you, you're going to give them your form to get enrolled, or click on that link. But anyways, Lonnie, thank you so much for working the Zoom. God bless you. And hey guys, it's been great. Get yourself signed up so that way your product gets shipped out as soon as possible. So hey guys, it's been great. God bless you. Drive safe. And if you have any questions, come on up to Steve or I.